Welcome everyone! Today I'll be breaking down the top 5 ultimates in Paladins. What exactly makes a good ultimate, you might very well ask? Well, this video is just for fun and is in no way a direct parometer or tier list. Today I'll be using a pretty fluid set of guidelines. Epicness, does it blow your socks off because it is just cool when you use it? Fun potential, does it make you want to sing the FUN song from SpongeBob SquarePants? Finally, yes, the power rating. In short, is it over 9,000? Being a fun list, be sure to let me know all of your top 5s in the comment section below too, and why. Before we start the video, today's content is proudly sponsored by Discord Nitro. If you're a Discord Nitro member, you can currently claim 2 diamond chests for yourself and additionally 2 large gifts to give to friends or people you think deserve them in your matches. Both added together have a $26 value. Think that sounds cool? Then it's definitely worth checking it out. My description, all comments section, pinned post below. Back to the video. Coming in at number 5 is Makoa's Ancient Rage. Do you challenge Makoa? And this is pretty much it. Makoa is the classic Paladins ultimate meme, and however hard I tried to drop this ancient Eternal from our list today, I just couldn't. Ancient Rage is just such an instant classic that it willed itself onto this list. Setting aside the fact that he will always be the power comparison when using Ancient Rage to any champion in the game. For example, Lian seems OP, but wait, can't she challenge Makoa? Anyway, moving on, we can go to the ultimate itself and just what makes it so good. First of all, it is a mega BM to your enemies. They think you're about to kill you, but wait, no, here comes a challenge. Playing Makoa, suddenly your health pool goes into overdrive and you become the mega turtle you're always meant to be. Sure, your enemies will probably see it coming, but it is still a nice haha to end the enemy's savagery. Next up is just how cool it is to swing around that hook like an axe, extra especially so when you play with the plushy Makoa skin and you get that super satisfying squeak every time you pulverize someone's face in. The musical little jingle in the background always hypes up your play too, and in the case of the Dutchman, Makoa will sing a really loud song to make sure everyone else knows you are in fact a pirate boy. For me, another aspect of the ultimate is that in some ways, it handicaps you a little bit. You no longer can hit people who are more than a few meters away from you, though whilst this sounds bad, it adds an extra level to the ultimate in that it is a challenge, not just for the enemies, but for you as a Makoa too. Sure, a flank can jump away, but hugging them back and then still battling them into the nether realm is that much more satisfying. I'm looking forward to all the Makoa comments incoming in 3, 2, 1. Moving on to the number 4 slot is Grok's Tempest. Lightning is cool, orcs are cool, flying is cool. Combine all of these elements together and you have the coolest customer of all, our blue boy, Gurk. Seriously though, Grok's ultimate is something that I always find a spectacle to watch as a chieftain goes into meditation before tearing the air, zapping allies and foes alike as he goes. Not only does the cool factor get some serious plus points for this ultimate, but the fun category is also buzzing. The ultimate doesn't just look cool, but it feels really powerful to use. The loud crashes of thunder as each charge of your ultimate blasts off almost make you feel those vibrations. On top of that, any ability that involves flying is usually fun. It's always been one of humanity's fascinations, and becoming the orc version of Superman crossed with Black Lightning fills just that curiosity. Another great plus with Grok's ultimate is that nobody's left out. The enemies will take a lashing, but also your allies can have fun being healed by those blue forks. Finally, hitting another important tick box exercise is that with the slow, heal, damage and maneuverability and the recent speed buffs to the ultimate, plus on top of all of that, it is relatively easy to channel this ultimate with a damaged Grok. It is that powerful. Yes, it does take a hit when Cauterize is maxed out, as your allies will be less helped by your merciful orc hands, though using map, cover and strafing walls, you can dodge being sniped out as an easy focus kill. Now everybody, spray your Gurks on the floor in respect to our blue boy in 4th place. That is, if you played pre-OB64 and do actually have that spray. Imani's Dragon's Call swoops into 3rd place. I still can't get over how epic it is to have a controllable dragon in the game. From the moment I saw the preview last year at Hi-Res Expo and created maybe the first video of this ultimate in action outside of a few data mines, I was dead set that this may be one of the coolest ultimates in any game. From the design of the dragon, which is a big plus, to the way it flies and has a real overbearing presence in the game. Let's ignore for a second though that Evil Mojo Games missed out on a big opportunity to name the dragon and give it even more character, but otherwise it goes down as one of my favourite concepts in the game. Now, does it work out in practice? Is it fun? I'd say yes. Actually controlling the dragon does feel good. It is slow and lumbersome, but that does add to the feeling that you're controlling a hulking behemoth. Plus the way you have to chase to come close to enemies to actually burn them down gives a little bit of an element of skill to using it. The main skill though is kind of picking a location and trying to use skyboxes and cover to stop it from being burst down by frantic enemies. Though the danger of Amani being left in place and the enemies being able to hunt you down is another little thrill, for me at least. I think the developer's choice to allow the dragon to morph and clip their wings to get through buildings was the right idea, though can look a little silly at times, but does take away from some of the frustrations that could have existed if it didn't. Though perhaps on the other end of the spectrum, and why Amani made it into my most hated champions list video, is that because it isn't really fun to play against at times. Better players will take that bulldozer and focus it down or kite the dragon by running away, though in certain maps and either more casual or lower skill brackets, this dragon can tear up an entire team and you can feel a little helpless, so it is a double-edged sword. Finally, on the power, it really does depend on the map and if a team is willing to be serious and focus enough to bring down that dragon. Though at the moment I would say that the dragon is actually pretty weak in most situations. So all in all, Imani makes it to the third spot by being one of, if not the coolest ultimate in any game. What do you all think? Is there something cooler than controlling a dragon in an FPS game out there? Pouring a potion onto the number 2 spot is Pip's Evil Mojo. Do you know how important this ultimate is to the game? Well, Hyra has named the development group for Paladins after it with Evil Mojo Games. That is how important Pip's ultimate is. Though it isn't just that, Paladins Battlegrounds, which then became Realm Royale, base their downing mechanics on this ultimate. That is, turning your foes into bucking chickens. I think on the cool factor, this is more wacky than straight up bruh, though it really is one of the more unique ultimates in any game. Not that random polymorphing wasn't there as an established trope or ability, like with mages being able to turn people into sheep in WoW, though there is something always special about watching a group of 5 chickens huddle then try to disperse as they avoid the pluckening about to come from your fiery potion launcher. I'll have to admit that I'm no pro with landing Pip's ultimate well. Part of the reason I don't get many of myself in casuals is I'll always be forced to heal no matter how many times in chat I say I'll do damage. But it's kind of hard to get your allies to focus on your chickens when it comes time to harvest. I have to expect my team looks directly at their feet whenever I ultimate with Pip, and I don't have the extra damage to solo kill without the Catalyst talent card. That aside, whilst mechanically a grenade launcher mechanic isn't necessarily that fun in the game or going to blow your happy socks off, it is the hunt of the chickens that is an enjoyable element to this Vulpin's concoction. It could very well compare to SpongeBob going jellyfishing, to tip back to my intro, but hey, let me know if you think they compare too. Finally, onto the power level. This is one of the strongest ultimates in the game that can be a death sentence for an entire enemy team in one fell swoop, and counters a 2-tank clumps pretty hard. It's also on a support, so can be built up pretty quickly with those extra heals and your damage on the side, especially with a few points in morale boost, though in the wrong hands it can also save enemies when they're already low health and generally ruin a point fight, so it swings and roundabouts. Lastly, ascending into first place is Genos through time and space. Yes, it turns out harnessing the power of the stars can be pretty damn powerful. You know, those burning gas balls of, or should we say galactic fusion reactors. Yes indeedy. Seriously though, let's go ahead and start picking this ultimate apart. First up, the cool factor. It does really take the biscuit when you literally pull off a move out of Dragon Ball Z in your ultimate, as you Kamehameha. On top of that, you have a beam of energy that can pretty much cross the entirety of a Paladins map. Genos has really ascended to another class of style. I do fondly remember getting footage with a group of viewers on the test server when Genos was first released and we were making a Mythbusters video, and we didn't get bored of continuously firing this ultimate across the map for hours, as it was just such a spectacle at the time. It also helps that Genos 2 is such a curio of a character, almost Sephiroth meets a cosmically inclined JoJo character. Anyway, that's enough of that space gravy. Moving on to the FUN aspect, I can't think of anything more satisfying than get a line of 5 enemies inside your beam at the start of the match to then watch the kill ticker pop up on the side of your screen. Yes, you probably won't actually see your foes be melted by the beam, but the fun is that deep-seated satisfaction that you know you've killed them all. Genos ultimate is also relatively hard to pull off without using a wombo combo like a Ceres ult or an Inara stun, but that teamwork can be fun too. Finally, the experience and satisfaction of hitting a single target with a well-timed skill shot can be super rewarding. Generally, I could sit watching the Kamehameha pose for a long time and just be a happy boy. On to the power rating. Well, this one is well and truly over 9,000. You can kill an entire team with it. Though in my case, 99% of the time I will hit nobody and I feel like I've had an omelette slapped in my face every time as a team will put in chat, WTF was that Genos. But yes, it has all the potential in the game and takes up a largest chunk of the map when it does actually go off. That was my list. Again, this list was for fun. Please do let me know what your list would be in the comment section below with your reasoning, if you agree or disagree with mine for any reason, or anything else you want to put down there, like do challenge Makoa. As always, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. I've been your host, Joshino. Thanks for watching, folks.